What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Another day, another Diddy. Let's get into it. I got on gloss. I need a little more color. Let me add a little more. Add a little more color. Come on in, come on in, come on in, you guys. Hey, happy Thursday. It is almost Friday. Hallelujah. Because, baby, this week went by slow. I thought yesterday was Thursday. I thought today was Friday. So tomorrow, I guess I'm going to be happy, child. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope everybody had a good day. Let me say hi to the people. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the things, you guys. What's up, Corey? Miss Old School, you won. You won prize number 2 in the 12 days of Christmas. So congratulations, and I'm glad to see you. I don't know if I told you already, but if not, you won. And the next time I go live, I think tomorrow, when I go live tomorrow, I'll pull another name. Hey, Corey, Miss Old School, Lemon Kush, Amber, Miss Kiki, Marnie Davis, Cora Pittman, Yana, what's up, Sharice? Hey, Mia, Tracy Wilson, Sierra, Lovely 31, Cross Country Cruiser, C Brown, Rainy Bow, Katrina Taylor, Cool Gamer, Dr. Mac, Miss Thing, Hey Vet, Powerful Cindy, Nicole Stevens, Paul Brantley, Pat Pointer. Hey, Ray, what's going on? Hey, Stacy Renee. Katrina said, Pissy just needs to find the deepest ocean and jump in because he washed up and pathetic. And on the Ricky Smiley show this morning, he said some more stuff is coming. Who? Who said some more stuff is coming on the Ricky Smiley show this morning? Ricky Smiley? Who said it? Katrina, tell me who said it. Morgan, did he go usher into next year with this news alone? Child. I know it's news, but I'm so tired of hearing about Diddy. This is getting on my nerves. Like, what's up, Star? Hey, what's up, Ray Bishop? How you guys doing? So, let's get into it. So, listen, you guys, and I hear what you're saying, powerful, but here's the thing. Then all I can tell you is you might want to just click off for a while or go, I don't know, turn on some happy stuff because honestly, you guys, and I said this when it happened. I said this when Cassie's case, I said, I really do feel like this is the domino. This is going to kick the door open. I felt like she was going to give women the freedom to speak. That doesn't mean that everybody that's speaking story is truthful. That ain't for me to decide. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But I do, again, a lot of this information has been hiding in plain sight. Like people, a lot of these stories are not new interviews. These are old interviews that people are clipping and posting, or old articles that people are clipping and posting. So, do I think it's going to get worse before it gets better? Yeah. Do I think there are more stories that are going to come forward? Absolutely. Do I think more people's names are going to be out there? Absolutely. So, I understand if you're over it, you might just need to click off because it ain't gonna get no better. It's gonna be all Diddy until California comes and we get a bigger black heavy hitter. Oh well. Ricky Smiley said he knows people and they are talking, and he said it's more stuff coming down the pipeline. He said he knows that for a fact. I do too, and I don't even know these people. But let me tell y'all something. The fact that the Cassie case went the way it went is a blessing and a curse. So let me say why it's a blessing and a curse, and then we're going to get into this Tiffany Red situation because I know that's what y'all came to hear. Although you've probably been hearing about it all day. But it was a blessing and a curse from the point of view of this. It was a blessing for the people who had stories to tell, who were afraid to tell their stories because they saw how the majority of the public embraced Cassie's story and how quickly Diddy moved to resolve it. It was a curse for that exact same reason. You understand what I'm saying? Because again, and we know, let me not say we know. In my opinion, there are a lot of people with a lot of stories to tell. In my opinion. Hey, Linda Gibbs. So shout out to my members that are lit up in green. I know I told you guys I had a little ditty to drop on y'all and that I would do a video. So I need to get that done and upload it. I'm not going to do it live. I'm probably just going to drop the video. It's just a little tea that I can't really say, you know, publicly, but just a little tea that I'm going to drop to the members. So I'll do that. It's not going to be a long video. It's going to probably be a video that's maybe 5 minutes long, if that. But it's just a little tea I want to drop y'all. Okay. So today we heard from a woman by the name of Tiffany Red. Now, some of you may not be familiar with Tiffany Red because she's somebody that was more in the background, right? Tiffany Red is a songwriter. We're going to talk a little bit about who Tiffany Red is, and then we're going to talk about this letter, this open letter that she wrote to Diddy. So I did a good, you know, quick Google search. I said, well, who is Tiffany Red? So Tiffany Red is a songwriter, and she has written hits for a whole lot of people that we all know. So I'm gonna just read you guys just a little bit of this information. Now, this article I found was written on May 16th of 2023, and it's in Variety magazine. Tiffany Red is a Grammy-winning songwriter and a songwriter advocate who has written hits for Jennifer Hudson, Fantasia, Jason Derulo, Zendaya, among others. She is founder and executive director of the 100 Percenters, a 501c3 organization with the stated goal of advocating for all music creators with a focus on Black, Indigenous people of color, and marginalized creatives. And so she actually, if you Google her, you actually will find that she has a history of advocating and fighting for people. This article was written as it relates to the writer's strike, and she was saying how songwriters need to come together and advocate for themselves for the exact same reason. She talked about the fact that, you know, with AI and streaming, a lot of songwriters are not getting their due and they're not making the money that they need to make. If you keep looking through, you'll see that she has spoken out. Oh, I meant to, child, I got something on my shirt. I meant to wipe that before I went live. Anyway, sorry, y'all. You'll see that she has a history, right? This isn't new for her. She didn't come out of nowhere. And she's been advocating for a long time and speaking for a long time. I found an article where she spoke on her PTSD from being in the industry, where she spoke on, you know, having to deal with harassment and people wanting to, you know, extort her for sexual favors and things of that nature. And so I found an article on that. So this isn't new information. This isn't new of her. Like, she didn't just come out of nowhere like, oh, now you got something to say. So she penned an open letter to Diddy today. So let's read through the open letter. We're going to read through the open letter. Y'all, my mouse, Lord, I'm going to have to buy me a new mouse this week. It's saying that my battery is not low, but it keeps, I don't know what is going on, child. Anyway. So I'm going to read out of Complex magazine, even though it was published in, the article was published in Rolling Stone, but baby, Rolling Stone, you know, they got it blocked off. So I'm going to read it from Complex magazine. In an open letter published by Rolling Stone, Red details her experience as both a close friend of and songwriter for Cassie. She said, I'm breaking my silence, freeing myself from haunting recollections, standing on solidarity with Cassie, and standing up for myself. I fear for my safety, as her suit alludes to me, although not by name. I hope that revealing my identity to the public will afford me some measure of protection. So basically, she's like, listen, if I tell everybody it's me, maybe it'll protect them from coming for me. I mean, I know y'all know what that's what it means, but I just, you know, I got to get my commentary check. She said she became friends with Cassie in 2015 when they were working on an album that ultimately never came out. The lawsuit filed against Diddy, which has since been settled for an undisclosed amount, alleged that the Bad Boy Records founder, I ain't going in all that, child. Red alluded to the lawsuit during one such incident on the night of her 29th birthday. She first met Diddy at Cassie's 29th birthday in a hotel in Los Angeles. You approached me and introduced yourself saying, so you're the one writing all these songs about me. I said, yes. And and you stared back and said, "That means she's talking to you, huh?" I was uncomfortable because it seemed like you were talking about the more turbulent parts of your relationship. One of the songs Red worked on with Cassie was called Loyal, and the lyrics appear to be a direct reference to her troubled relationship with Diddy. I didn't know what is real. I don't know what is real. I just know how I feel. And you keep acting like you don't want what you did wrong, trying to get me to chill. Since we ain't been together, I've been on some whatever, the lyrics read, as Red revealed. The birthday party later moved to a karaoke venue called Blind Dragon, and Red notes that it was instantly uncomfortable when Diddy and his bodyguard showed up. You pulled Cassie out of the private karaoke room. She put her head down and went with you. I followed to see if she was okay because something was off. When I walked out of the room, you had her backed into a corner in the hallway outside of the door, and your security surrounded you too as you cursed her out with your hands in her face, and she and I briefly made eye contact. I felt helpless. She looked afraid and kept looking down at the floor. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. Prior to that incident, Cassie told Red that Diddy was physically abusive towards her. Red stayed at Cassie's for the night while she went off with Diddy and his entourage. But she was later woken up in the early morning hours by the rapper yelling, "Emotional singing bitch, where are you?" Diddy allegedly screamed at her, "Emotional singing bitch, there you are. Tell your girl she wants some birthday dick. I flew all the way from Miami and she gonna get this birthday dick." Wow. Later on, Cassie informed Red that Diddy subjected her to what she called a freak off, which is the same term Cassie used in her lawsuit. Per the suit, he allegedly forced her to participate in these voyeurism fantasies, freak offs, which she comprised making her have sex with the male prostitutes so he could record videos, take pictures, and pleasure himself. Throughout my time knowing Cassie, I've seen so many concerning instances. There were occasions when I heard you yelling at her and making threats, observed her so high I was afraid of her overdosing at a party you threw for her in Malibu, and witnessed both of you getting IVs after a different night of partying. Additionally, when I was part of her management team in 2019, a year after she was able to leave you, I saw you try to silence her by attempting to tie a non-disparagement clause, I don't even know what that is, to her record deal termination agreement, which felt unjust. Diddy, okay, then it goes on to talk about how Diddy and them, they canceled their lawsuit. Look. Okay, so then it just goes on to talk about what we already know, Chad. I ain't about to keep reading over the same stuff over and over again. Now, that is an article written about the open letter. I do have the actual open letter, which really just reviews. I mean, it just just says a lot of what I just said. But this was just putting it in context. Um, hold on. Okay. But if I can just go through it. But again, sorry, y'all. All right, so let me read through it because that was just the article, um, putting it in context with the lawsuit. So let me just read you guys the letter. Cassie and I became friends in 2015 while co-writing songs for her album that you never released. We remain close to this very day. I'm one of the friends mentioned in her lawsuit, specifically from the night of her 29th birthday, as she detailed in the section labeled "Mr. Combs Forces Miss Ventura into Trafficking." The weight is heavy as I gather my thoughts to articulate these distressing memories. Physical reactions, the surge of heat in my face, sweaty palms, racing heart, and the onset of a panic attack serve as stark reminders of the toll it's taking. I am traumatized by you. The burden of vocalizing these experiences should never have been mine or anyone else's. I first met you in person in August 2015 at a surprise party you threw for Cassie's 29th birthday at a hotel in Los Angeles. I was at her old apartment before the party with friends in the Wilshire corridor condos, right down the street from your home. Rushed by calls from your team about the ETA, we were in a frenzy to get her ready without spoiling the surprise. We all piled into a black car service from her place to the party. Sorry. We arrived at the area reserved for her party at the hotel, and you popped out singing happy birthday. There were many friends, a few famous faces, and cameras recording as we sang. She was definitely surprised. Eventually, we all started to mingle around the room. Up until that point, I'd only spoken to you once before on FaceTime with Cassie about songs we were working on together. You approached me and introduced yourself, saying, "So you're the one writing all these songs about me?" I said yes, and you stared back and said, "That means she's talking to you, huh?" I was uncomfortable because it seemed like you were talking about the more turbulent parts of your relationship. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, Mo. Hey. I'm just going back to the chat. I'm just checking in on the chat. Okay. Please hit the like button, you guys. We did a song called Loyal that you didn't like. We were writing about her pain. In the first verse of the song she sings, and I just sorry, y'all. It reads the lyrics again. You later came back up to me and said you were playing. I didn't believe you. One of your security guards did something similar. I'd never met him before either. He approached me and said, "I heard a lot about you, Tiffany." You both creeped me out, and this interaction was super intimidating. It felt like you both wanted me to know that you knew who I was and you didn't like how close I was to her. Later that evening, after being at the party, since it started that afternoon, Cassie wanted to go to a karaoke spot called Blind Dragon on Sunset Boulevard with some friends. You were not happy that she was leaving. I remember your people hovering around us trying to discourage Cassie from leaving, but we went anyway. You followed us and arrived just a bit later than we did. It was instantly uncomfortable. You pulled Cassie out of the private karaoke room. She put her head down, and that part I read you guys already. I walked out of the room, and you had her backed in a corner in the hallway. She and I briefly made eye contact. I felt helpless. She looked afraid and kept looking down at the floor. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. Karaoke was cut short because you wanted her to leave with you. Cassie asked me and two other friends if we'd meet her back at her place and stay the night. She was stopping at her house first to grab a bag and then going with you. I said yes because I was worried you would hurt her. Prior to the incident, she had confided in me that you were physically abusive, and the way you were in her face that night was alarming to me. I didn't want to leave her alone. When we got back to her house, she kept saying to us she didn't want to go with you, but you were already on your way to pick her up. One of our friends was packing an overnight bag for her. I'll never forget. It was the biggest Birkin bag I'd ever seen. It was blue. I kept asking, why did they pack her stuff if she clearly said she didn't want to go with you? This person said she always goes. You arrived at the door and whisked her away. Cassie looked uneasy. I didn't know where you were taking her. Once you left, the person who packed her bag said, "They'll be back. Watch." It was almost like they had seen this movie before. What up, Mims? I see somebody speaking to you, but I don't see you. Hey, Mims. Hey, everybody. I promise to be good. That's a lie. First of all, he ain't going to be good, and I ain't threatening to block him, but y'all know Mims don't know how to be good. Diddy block, but oh Lord. Diddy backed Cassie into a corner, but he backed it up on a real something about being dominant over women and dominated by. Anyway, a few hours later, I was woken up, and I read you guys that part before about him yelling about the birthday dick. Okay. You and Cassie were back. It was around 3 or 4 a.m. When I walked out of her bedroom where I was asleep. You yelled emotional singing bitch. There you are. I was mortified, humiliated, and scared when I realized you were talking to me. Busy and so was Cassie. She appeared sedated with drugs. First time I saw her this way. You stick on what I'm reading, so you started screaming at us. Tell your girl she wants some birthday dick. I flew all the way from Miami and she gonna get this birthday. You were visibly angry that she didn't want that from you. I was terrified. I said she doesn't want to have sex with you if she doesn't want to. You just kept screaming, she gonna get this. All I kept thinking about was how before you came to get her, she was sober and she kept telling us she didn't want to go with you. You two left her place in chaos on a golf cart and drove off into the night. We watched you from her balcony driving towards your house. I thought you were going to get pulled over and go to jail or crash from being so high. It was like a real life scary movie. I was terrified for Cassie and completely traumatized. She later told me you made her have a freak off, which she described in her lawsuit, where you would make her perform acts. Da 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 da. We already know about that. Um, The reason you called me emotionally singing B was because you were listening to new songs we wrote during the freak off that had begun after you came to get her earlier. I am disturbed to my core by this. It makes me think it must have been songs Cassie hadn't recorded yet that were still demos. I can't begin to explain how it makes me feel thinking about my voice playing in the background of that nightmare. I'm frozen. I'm lagging. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, Katrina. I'm sorry. Do y'all need me to go back? Y'all need me let me know if y'all need me to go back. It's not frozen on this side, so I don't know that I'm frozen. I'm moving. Everything is moving on this side. I'm good now. Hey, what's up, Angela? Throughout my time knowing Cassie, I've seen my concerning instances. There were occasions when I heard you yelling at her and making threats, observed her so high, I was afraid she would overdose at a party you threw for her in Malibu. We read about that already. And then we read about that. So the rest of this we read about. With Cassie bravely sharing her story, I'm finally free to share mine. That night of her birthday party and so many others are burned in my brain and have tormented me since. I feel compelled to show up for Cassie and myself and confirm that everything she described in her complaint about what happened that night is consistent with what I experienced. Cassie and I became close while writing songs together nearly a decade ago. One of our friends used to call us Tiff Andrea. Never could I have imagined that this is how it would turn out. The music I helped to create for her suffered due to these events, compounding the trauma. It's devastating. I still mourn that time in my songwriting career. I continue to work through the PTSD, paranoia, and anxiety from these events. It's one of the catalysts for my advocacy for music creatives today with my organization, the 100 Percenters. Your abuse of power has inflicted ongoing harm on countless individuals, including myself, my friends, and my peers. You're a literal pillar in the Black community. Black music, excuse me. So many of us look up to you. This moment hurts for us too, but no one deserves to endure all of this. Puff, it's not right. You're hurting the very Black, brown people you say you love and support. It pains me to write this letter to you as a Black woman, but when will the cycle of abuse stop? It has to stop. This is the last one, y'all. Recent events such as the unveiling of accusations against numerous former record label CEOs and artists for assault due to the Adult Survivors Act in New York underscore the gravity. I'm sorry, wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure this is still her letter. The systematic issues of the culture of misogyny deep entrenched in the music industry pose a real threat to so many people's safety every day in this business. How can we expect meaningful change when the senior leadership and superstars face accusations of these crimes? The power imbalance makes it nearly impossible to fight back and terrifying to speak up. But despite that, here I am standing beside my friend. There are moments in life when some of us have to face the hard choice of speaking truth to power or not. This is one of those moments. So, y'all, this is just the latest chapter. I should have done like Color Me Pink. Color Me Pink has been like naming her titles number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. That's what I should have done because at this point, y'all, it's and again, hey Thais, how you doing? How you doing, my love? Diddy just needs to sit down with Oprah or Gail and empty his guts. Ciao. Diddy just, I don't know. People keep talking about Diddy need to go go over there with Uncle Rush hanging out. Well, that's where he probably need to go. He need to go over there with Uncle Rush hanging out because baby, this ain't good. At this point, I think Diddy's deal with the devil has run its course because he went from he don't play to all of this. I mean, he don't pay to all of this. Listen, I'm gonna drop the link for a little while. I'm gonna let you guys come up. I got about 20 minutes if you guys want to come up. I mean, at this point, I don't know if there's anything left to say, y'all. We done said it all because I mean, I don't know if there's anything left to say, but I'm gonna let y'all come up if y'all will have any insight into this. Um, Katrina, you don't have to show your face, but if you want to come up and just tell me what, I know you already said it in the chat, but you said Ricky Smiley on his show today spoke up and said that he knows that he has friends and he knows it's going to get worse before it gets better because he got friends that are going to speak. I'm not shocked about it. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Again, all of this stuff has been hiding plain sight, y'all. None of this, I mean, the details are new. Let's be clear. Like honestly, the details are new. But I just keep saying it. I just can't keep saying it enough. We have heard the stories. We have heard the stories, the Diddy stories, the parties, and we've heard about it. And the one thing that she said at the end of her letter, which um the one thing she said at the end of her letter was she said the power imbalance makes it nearly impossible to fight back and terrifying to speak up. And I think that that is one thing we have to keep in mind when we start talking about Trina, I know you've been up here before, but after I had that little visitor the other day, I'm gonna have to put my banner up, honey. Hold on, let me put my banner up after I got my little visitor the other day that decided that he wanted to share some information with me that we didn't ask for. Let me just bring you up, Trina.
Hey, hon.
Hey, I just got to make sure it's you, honey. After I had my little visitor the other day, were you in the chat when I had my little visitor the other day?
Yes, you know I was there, girl.
Yeah. So I just got to put my. So I don't, again, that's unfortunately, but open secrets hidden only by power, influence, and manipulation. You right, Ray Bishop. What you want to say, Miss Trina?
Yeah, I was listening to the Ricky Smiley show this morning, and
Okay.
they was going over because people were saying like, well, why haven't any celebrities came out defending um Puff Daddy? They say people still came out and defend R. Kelly, even though the stuff that he was going through. But there's nobody stepping up to defend Puffy. And then he said, well, Puffy got some more stuff coming down the pipeline. He says more stuff going to come out. And he said he know this for a fact because he talked to some of the people that knows things, and they said the stuff is going to come out. That's what he said this morning. So he said it's more stuff coming out on Puffy. So I don't know what else Puffy got going on, but I call him Pissy. So I don't know what he got going on, but Ricky Smiley said this morning that is more stuff coming out on him. other than the 4 people that all the stuff doesn't happen. He said he talked to somebody, I guess in the business or whatsoever they be doing, but he said it's more stuff coming down, and he said you can take that to the bank because he know he talked to people.
I believe it. And Ricky's been around for a long time. I don't know if people realize how long Ricky Smiley has been around, but he's been around for a long time. And I'm sure, again, these are open secrets. You know what I mean? Like a lot of this
Yeah.
stuff people do know. And I think honestly, I do, and I've said that as well. I do find it interesting that a lot of people aren't um defending him, but they not nobody. I mean, people aren't speaking out against him, but nobody out here defending him either. I honestly, I mean, somebody could probably find 1 or 2 people. I don't know, but honestly, overall, I haven't really heard so many people out here caping for Diddy. I mean, if y'all have, tell me who, and don't say Russell Simmons. He don't count, child. He don't count.
Girl, ain't nobody defending him. It's just back in the day. You remember when TLC was signed to what was that guy name? That
L.A. Reid.
Yeah, Ella Reed. Clyde David was over TLC. And so they was trying to figure out, like, we sold all these albums, what happened to our money? So they had planned on jacking Clive Davis up in his office. And don't you know, Pissy called and told them what they was planning on doing? He ratted them out. Because
Say
they was
that
trying to figure
again.
out, yeah, he
I'm sorry.
ratted
Say
them
that
out.
again.
Okay, TLC, when they was under L.A. Reid and Clyde, because they was under Clive Davis.
Right,
And
right.
so they had planned on I guess bum rushing him in his office or whatever, Clyde Davis. But Puffy got wind of it and alerted Clyde Davis that TLC was coming there to bum rush him to ask them where their money was at.
Oh, I got you. Well, again, we definitely need to we definitely need to look at Clive Davis. Hey, Angela Boo.
Hello,
We
beautiful
definitely need to
people.
look at Clive Davis because we
Yeah.
absolutely somebody said in the chat that we can't throw Diddy under a microscope without Clive Davis. And the reality is it is true, it is true, it is true. I thought they rushed Babyface. Listen, I thought they rushed Babyface too, but hell, to be honest with you, they probably rushed all of them before it was over with looking for their dang
Mm-hmm.
old
Well,
money.
he had Pissy had Total ready to jump Wendy Williams.
Right.
The only reason why the only way she got away was because Kelvin was out there, and that's how she
Right.
got to get with Kelvin. But yeah, he had them waiting outside to jump Wendy.
You
Lord.
know, I think that more people, again, people have been telling their stories, but just people didn't believe them. I mean, it was just people didn't believe them. People didn't give it any any credit.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to say, Angela?
I was gonna say, I feel like people have been talking about how trash of a human this person is. For some reason, it really never stuck. You mentioned, why nobody is defending him, and the reason is because nobody is going to defend the person that they've all been praying for the downfall of.
Well,
Um,
Half Fun was doing the same thing that he was doing anyway. So they
well,
feel
that
like if they
too.
talk about him, they're gonna incriminate themselves.
Well, the
Because
problem, well,
Half Fun been doing the same thing.
but the bigger problem is most of them people feel like he owed them money. Most of them people
And
feel like he owe, and so I don't care how much I do believe I could watch somebody be completely on the side of right, but if you owe me money, I ain't see nothing. I'm not saying because I want if you're not gonna give me my stuff, I want you to go down. No shade, like that's why nobody's defending him because nobody cares because his entire reputation. Does he have any industry friends, like actual friends, like public friends?
And then
Right.
you got to look at this point. Out of all these people, ain't none. I think Mace probably about the only one. Ain't none of his artists became millionaires. Not none
Mace
of
ain't
them.
no millionaire.
They say no.
I thought he had because he
Not
was
off
doing
his
a lot. He
music
was doing a
anyway.
lot. He was doing
Not
a
off of
lot of
his
writing
music.
for Pissy. He was doing a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
not
writing
off of
for
his
him.
music. Mace might
He
have some money, but it ain't off of his music. Now,
Yeah, it's not
Biggie
out for
died.
music.
Biggie
Yeah, I'm
died with
saying.
money. Yeah, Biggie died with money. Um, yeah, but Yeah, I mean the reality is most bad boy artists, I would venture to say 99% of them, yeah, did not walk away with any money.
Mm-mm.
Um and again, I said this before and I'll say it again. Now the whole giving back his publishing makes sense now. A lot of people at the time when he first did it, a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, he's only giving it back now because he doesn't because they're not worth anything." But now I look back on it and I'm like, he knew that lawsuit slash book was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And that was his way of trying to get people to not be able to say anything. Because remember, the publishing came with an NDA.
NDA. And
So
thank
it all
And
God.
makes
then he was crazy because nobody in their right mind. There's nobody listening to like CDs or records or anything like that. And then the artists that he has, those are artists that we grew up with. The younger generation don't even know the songs, unless they get played
Mhm.
back. They don't even know them songs. So who finna
And
go
don't.
stream that? So they wasn't gonna get no money anyway. He sold it to me after he got all the money off of
Mhm.
it. Now he's trying to give it back, like you said, because he knew that lawsuit and stuff was coming. But he ain't no saint. Why he trying to get these publishers? Why you didn't give
I
it to
mean,
Mainstream when they first asked for it? When they was
so
on
here's
top of their game, you
I
held
mean,
on
here's
to it.
one thing. Here's one thing about that lawsuit, right? Cassie didn't just sue him. She sued his companies. Let's be clear. It was not Diddy who pulled the trigger to settle. They have insurance companies who assess the entire situation and then make a decision.
But insurance company don't pay for crimes, so they
Insurance
would have paid
company,
for him.
but
Insurance company,
she
insurance company
sued
don't
the
pay for crimes.
she didn't, but she didn't press charges against him. She sued him.
Right. These
Insurance
were
company
civil. This
pays
was civil.
out.
It wasn't criminal.
The insurance company pays out for lawsuits like that. And then the reason Diddy got fired is probably because the insurance company said he's an officer and he's now a liability. He got to go. Or we ain't
Oh,
paying out. Y'all
definitely. Oh,
can't
he
renew.
definitely was forced. Yeah,
He was
he
forced
definitely was
out.
forced out.
Because
He didn't
Cassie sued
voluntarily
her
do nothing.
employer. She wasn't after no criminal nothing. She was after her money, and she got it because she sued the company
Mhm.
and not him. The company decided to pay her. I promise you, he personally did not want to do that. That's why that decision came down within so many. Because that board of directors sat down and the insurance people said, "We gonna pay her this money. You gonna break this off, and we not gonna talk about this no more."
Well, baby, by them selling that quick or whatever he did, he just opened another can of worms because anybody that settled that quick,
Uh,
they either trying to hide something or they know something is going to come out on them. Because nobody, if you, the money that
it
he
wasn't
got,
him. He ain't had
I'm
nothing
just
to do
saying,
with that
that's what I'm saying.
decision.
The money that I'm just saying because he wanted to fight it because the money that he has is way more money than Cassie. He's a billionaire, so claim to be a billionaire.
Yeah, for
He
him.
could have kept going. He could have kept going to court and
He,
to drain her out, but he
No,
didn't
but
want to
see,
do that
but
mm-mm.
it,
because he know he
but
was
Nope, he
wrong.
couldn't have done that
well,
because
not only that, not only could he, whether he could or couldn't, that wasn't in his best. Let me tell you something.
not even
That
close.
35 pages, the last thing Diddy wanted was for that to keep floating around for the next 3 or 4 years. That is the
Hmm.
last thing. I mean, it's still gonna be out there, but as it being an active discovery, can you imagine what discovery was gonna look
Woo!
like?
That discovery would be a mess.
God, I
Because we
just
have to,
wanted his ass to have
because
went to
she
court.
alleged that there were other men's in the room doing stuff. They would be
Yeah.
trying to contact these people. We would have to hear these people on the stand talking about what he paid them to do. Absolutely. And keep in mind, the companies got sued, right? The companies, meaning the insurance company, is also looking out for the bill. We want to congratulate for your new member real quick.
Thank you. Thank you. You can say Angela is a vet on these panels. Thank you, Six girl, for becoming a member. I think you were a member before, so welcome back to the membership. Thank you, my love. Go ahead, Angela.
Mhm.
And then
But yeah,
Tracy, I'm
the
gonna come back.
insurance company not necessarily invested in his personal well being or what happens to him as it relates to
They
any
could care less.
criminal charges, whatever. They are invested in one of their officers being in the middle of a criminal or of a civil case like that, of a lawsuit with allegations such as those, looking bad on their company. They paid her out because they just didn't want all that stuff coming out. It had nothing to do with him. I'm gonna be real honest. He probably got told we
That he
settle
had
it.
the insurance. Somebody said that he paid because the insurance wouldn't pay it. So I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm thinking I
Well,
heard
we
it.
don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, we
they said
really don't know.
Yeah, because they
But
locked out them the room. They locked that up
but
tight.
even right, even if he cut the check, I trust and believe he got a phone call telling him,
Cut this check or else
bruh.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think
we're
he
not
was
backing you.
in pocket. I don't think it came from the insurance company.
You know what they probably said they wasn't paying? They probably said they wasn't paying for no lawyer fees. And they wasn't paying for the court case.
So what I understood, they said that their money came from him. The insurance company didn't pay it. But like I said, I might be wrong. But
Well, nobody knows. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, all of it's speculation. Nobody knows
True that.
because again, all of that is going to be sealed. Tracy, hold on. I'm gonna let Tracy speak. But before I let Tracy speak, I do want to say this. You guys, as you all know, the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race starts next month, and the Meet the Girls already came out. We were all excited because my girl Hershey LaCour Jate is on this season, but I also have friends that know some of the other girls that are on this season. And so we will be doing a panel, and Angela Roche will be on the panel with us. Y'all know Abby Reviews, It's Me D, myself and El Teddy, and Kiss My Cheeks TV. So we'll be doing it on a rotating basis. So you guys will get to know all of us on our different platforms. But if you are a RuPaul Drag Race fan, just know that we will be doing a panel. Hershey is on this season. Yes. And this Friday we will actually be doing a meet the girls panel. We're gonna just go through all of the ladies, talk about it, and of course I'm biased. I just have to be fair about that. But I will try to be have an open mind. But I'm definitely
I will have an open mind for other people's drag, but I do have somebody I want to win. Period.
Right, exactly. So with that being said, I just want to say that and it will be on my new review channel. So thank you, Tracy. Just drop that link. Bridgerton will also be over there, and of course, Raising Kanan. The new season of Raising Kanan is over there. So please, if you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And thank you, Tracy, for dropping Angela's channel, her YouTube channel. Y'all make sure y'all get subscribed so y'all can be ready. And she's also been doing her reaction reviews to Chasing Atlanta. Okay, yes, Tracy, what you got, girl? What you got?
I already got my winner. I don't care what Ruth says. Let me start there. Let me start there.
Just so we're all clear.
Just so we're clear. And if you got a problem, please understand that I feel like El Teddy about this, and I will snipe you. Just so we're clear.
I'm nervous. Look, I'm nervous about El Teddy on this panel, child. Lord knows.
Just so y'all know.
You see, the thing is, y'all know Angela Roche in the web reality world. So when it comes to people that are making money off of their television appearances, you get Angela Ratchet.
Okay. Well,
I know that's right. She better let the people know that she be making money.
Well, not me. I'm talking about the castmates. The castmates
no,
money
I'm
off
just
the
saying,
show.
let the people know, honey.
Okay, they made money, so I can drag them.
So
well, that's true. That's true.
Okay. So
Tracy, I already know you about to go. Okay, go ahead, boo.
Well, no, because y'all already know my stance. He did it. Very point blank. Like, there we go. Like, let's start there. Like, woo. Yeah.
I don't think anybody
allegedly. Fine. Whatever. Oh, fine. Okay. Right. Allegedly. He did it. There we go. But let's be clear. But so when it comes to insurances and owners being sued and people being forced out of companies and things like that. So let's just say we had an attorney being forced out of one of their law firms for doing something that he wasn't supposed to do with a paralegal, and an insurance company got involved, and they was like, oh yeah, we're about to sue. And the paralegal was like, yeah, we need to know how much the insurance cap is. And they was like, absolutely not. You need to settle and pay out of. And then they came to a settlement where insurance paid a portion, the lawyer paid a portion, and they wrapped that up. And he actually got a severance package and sent on about his way because they was like, absolutely not. Because the company said, we need to protect us. You are now a liability to our business. We have to protect our business. And you are now an outsider and need to go. And that's how they looked at this person who was once the face of their law firm. And they now changed the commercials that was on TV. They face not on the commercials no more, and all that good stuff. And they name off the building. Yeah, so they all got rearranged and all that good stuff. So is it possible that it was a split judgment where insurance paid some portions depending on what the certain charges were,
We will
or
never
what
know.
the certain allegations were? They said, okay, I'm gonna take allegation 3, 4, 7, and then you gonna take the rest. It's possible. You never know what the things are. So some things, it isn't always 100% one way, 100% the other. Sometimes they could be split, depending on how things kind of shake out. So there are options where things get split. So that is an option as well.
Whatever split they got, that decision was made in 24 hours. So less
And
than.
I wonder if the thing was because they already knew that because this is just me. I feel like he didn't think that she would spray herself with her own tea to put the lawsuit out there to shame herself, that he thought he was protected and safe, kind of deal. So because he didn't think she would tell on herself, to hurt herself, that he thought he was safe.
I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of things. I know I've said this before, you guys, but if you're just hearing it for the first time, I think it's a combination of things. I think one, I think he thought she was doing a book, not a lawsuit. And again, I think a lot of people, a book would not have been taken with the same level of seriousness as a lawsuit. Correct. Had Cassie come out with a tell-all book, I mean, we probably would have talked about it for a few days. We'd be clowning her too. Right. And then we kind of would have moved on, right? But a lawsuit, like Tracy said, where she is being very candid and very detailed, I think that shocked so many people. And then the other thing too is, I think because Diddy, again, a lot of people have been telling their Diddy stories, and it just hasn't meant anything. It's been out there on the internet and floating around. Like a lot of this stuff is not new information. Right. So I think that Diddy's been living in this world, this world for so long where everything rolls off of his back and he can pay people off and he can intimidate people and all of that. I think he just never really thought it was going to come down to this. I just don't. And when she filed that lawsuit, I think that shit really blindsided him. I think it really had him going.
I think it had him, his investors, the attorney. I think it had everybody actually fully gagged that she put it out there like that. I agree with you. She put her own tea out there. She sprayed, like Funky doesn't even say, don't let nobody spray with your own tea. She said, this is my tea, this is what I did. Here you go, now what? And I agree. I think also the court of public opinion swayed that decision by whoever made it, because he went from being this person we knew just didn't pay people, and we thought he was a little deviant, but like nobody really cared. Like no one spent time on Diddy's personal life. He went from we don't spend time in your personal life, but we know, to we are now digging into every little thing within 10 hours. They had to get that whole situation out of there. He has never been that popular. Not for his personal life.
The thing about it is the internet and all that wasn't around when he was doing his mess. Same thing with R. Kelly. But
that part.
The internet is around now, so everybody can voice their opinion and say say this and say that. See, back in the day, it wasn't no computer, no internet, no nothing like that. We didn't have that back in the day. So these folks was getting away with a lot of stuff. But since we got the internet, everything has changed because people can get the information quicker. Like you said, it was word of mouth to different people. But see, now everybody knows. It probably would have happened a while back or whatever. They've been like really be said. You would have probably overlooked it. Just like you saying about her writing a book or whatsoever. But now the internet and these bloggers, it's a whole different ball game now.
Mm-hmm. Well, outside of that, she made it a court record instead of a book. You see, right? When she made it a court record, that means she also had to swear legally that everything she said was the truth under the fault of perjury. She go to jail, so she had to say this is true. This is all real. So yeah, the moment she did
that too. That's why he settled, because if he went to court and he was his because he know his ass probably was gonna lie. So if he would have went to court, he would have got arrested for perjury because he probably was gonna say he didn't do it and all
I
that type of
mean,
stuff. And
here's the
so he
thing.
want to take that chance of getting that perjury charge on him. So and all the other stuff, but still the stuff came out. So he got a whammy both ways. You tried to stop something, and stuff still came out. So you just got slapped in the face twice. You got that boomerang effect. You sent it out. You had no idea it was gonna come back that fast and hit you right in your forehead. And that's exactly what he gets because after all the people that he taken advantage of, used, abused, and then like I said, he was taping that girl for intimidation. So I can say I got this tape
Allegedly.
on you, so you won't go out and say what I did. That's why he was taping it. And I'm so glad she came out because see that was his power over her. See, he lost that power when she came out and said everything that happened. So his power was gone. You can't intimidate me no more because I'm telling them what happened. I'm telling them what I did. It ain't like she didn't do it. She said you had her doing it. You see what I'm saying? So now she took her power back because he had the power over her because he sent up the recording. What man in their right mind would do that if you cared for this woman, this supposed to be your girl or whatsoever? You recorded this stuff so you could have something on her.
I think he recorded it so he could use it later. To
Yeah,
be honest with
intimidation.
you.
Yeah,
Well,
Oh no,
intimidation.
no,
Yeah.
no, not intimidation
no, I think he
purposes.
recorded
Yeah,
for
no,
his
yeah, not
own purpose.
intimidation.
For his
Yeah, I think he
personal
just got off
usage.
on it. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he just got off
he
on it.
recorded it for personal usage. He
For
just so
purpose.
happened to keep it
How he
because
got off on it when they said when he said somebody had
uses
to
it.
squeeze his? I'm just saying how he got off of it when he said somebody got to squeeze his squeeze his
Look,
nipples in order.
look,
I'm
that man got that much money. He could hire 2 extra people to come in the room while if somebody play the video, somebody else is a fluffer. He got the coin for it, so he can do whatever he wants to. I wholeheartedly
Right,
believe he did videos.
right.
The reason she didn't really mind them videos is because they were supposed to be personal, like couple pleasure type, couple intimate type situations, not blackmail. So she's like, yeah, you got these videos on me because we made them together. Like, I'm not like, okay, it's a little weird that you got it still, but yeah, I said yeah to making the video. What's the big deal? Like, I feel like that's once she said, let's just say I did these things, it was over. And
yeah,
again,
because I'm saying he was using it as intimidation.
well, the thing is, the reality is, she could be completely false. She could be, but the thing is, his automatic image, the way people see him, made everyone believe this because what she said was way too detailed to be a lie, in my opinion.
Listen,
Everybody know
when
he's a
I'm
gangster.
gonna tell
But
you
see,
when I
I
read,
believe because he think because
Because,
his dad worked for Frank Lucas,
girl,
and I
I,
believe he thought that he was untouchable, but he must have watched he must have know Elliot Ness told Al Capone everybody's
child,
touchable. He
because I
thought
thought
he
I
was
was reading
untouchable
50
because
Shades of Grey,
his
reading
dad
that stuff.
yeah, and then
okay,
his dad got killed because his dad was a snitch. His dad was a snitch. So that's how he got wiped out. While he's sitting there telling that story to my his mom whatsoever, he's lying. His dad snitched. And then that's when his dad got taken out. His dad was killed because he snitched so he can go to a wedding because they had got his father. His father was arrested, but he snitched on the other people. And so when he did that snitching, that man sent out a hit on him, on Puffy's dad. So
I
by
really be
by his dad working for Frank Lucas, so he thought he was untouchable. Maybe he thought he was Frank Lucas because that's what he was acting like.
yeah.
allegedly.
Allegedly,
Okay, wait a
allegedly.
minute. Hold on. Let me read my super chat. Thank you, Tam. It says just subscribe to your other channel for the drag race reviews. Thank you, my love. I love Hershey too. Yes, we stand
Period.
Hershey. Also, doesn't matter if Diddy paid or insurance paid. The same decision would have been made.
That part.
Exactly.
That
I
part.
agree. I agree.
I
Stiggs,
definitely agree with
girl,
that.
I'm gonna do a couple of comments and then we're gonna wrap it up in a few minutes because I'm coming back at 8:30 with El Teddy to do my black cake wrap up, which I promised you guys at the beginning of this. And baby, let me just say that Netflix threw me for a loop, and we'll talk about it at 8:30. Okay.
Sure.
Stig's girl said, "Do you all think any of the cameras, excuse me, Lord, cameras, any of this comes with the new allegations of his ties to Tupac's unaliving? Do you think the authorities approached her and promised her protection?" So here's the thing. Once again, that's not new information.
Yeah, she
Seriously.
didn't
Kathy
share
B
nothing.
been said all of this. It's not new information about Diddy. I mean, yeah, about Diddy being involved with Kef D and his crew and all that. Like none of that's what I'm keep saying. None of this well, again, the Cassie
Their
stuff,
personal
obviously,
their
but
personal
these
life was
things
new.
are not new information. So do I think that they approached her and no, I think Cassie made a decision to do this. I don't know if it was through therapy. I don't know why she decided to, but I think she made this decision. I honestly, I'm not gonna say it's coincidental because I ain't gonna say I believe in coincidences, but I don't think that it necessarily came from the authorities. I think maybe she thought this would be a good time. Maybe she thought he was vulnerable. I don't know. But I
That's
don't
why
know
I
if I
say I
think
think
it
he
came from
feels
the
the devil
authorities.
ran out.
Because the reality of the situation is if the authority, if I mean, again, Kef D wrote a whole book saying this years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think the stars aligned. I
Yeah, I
just
mean,
think it was.
sometimes
Yeah,
stuff just happens, and maybe if we really want to get, we really want to get into conspiracy theories, which sometimes conspiracy theories are real theories. Maybe there was somebody behind the scenes that was protecting Diddy that is no longer protecting him, or his favor ran out, or
because it's definitely given
something.
that. I mean, he's been catching it from all angles for like the last 4 years. Like between, I mean, we all knew he wasn't paying, but like now people are really, really talking about it. And it was
Right.
that, and then he paid these people out. Then, well, that's what it was. That she caught the weakness of him paying these people out. All these royalties, he finally acknowledged that he didn't hand these people their money. And she said, "Oh, you handing out money? Run me mine too, since you're in a giving mood." Because then it would have looked even weirder. He out here giving out all these money on this apology tour to these other people.
You know what, Marnie?
Ooh,
I forgot about that.
that I
In her
forgot about that.
lawsuit, Cassie said, right, in her lawsuit, Cassie said it was the acceptance speech that triggered her. And if you think about it, remember, if you go back to that acceptance speech, he threw a lot of jabs in that acceptance speech, low key. Now that you look back at it, remember, he made the comment about Lorianne Gibson. Thank you for keeping me out of jail, or keeping me free, he said. And remember, she had pressed charges against him for assault, and then she dropped the charges. Of course, he did that whole tribute to Kim Porter, where he switched up Biggie's song, the tribute to Biggie, and made it a tribute to Kim Porter. Again, like all of these are jabs. So Cassie said that she did say that in her lawsuit, that is what triggered her, was when he thanked her in his acceptance speech, and it was something I can't remember right now, but it was something he said that specifically made her be like, "Oh, for real, mother." You know what I mean? For always
Mm-hmm.
holding me down, or something. It was something he
In the dark
said.
times.
The dark time. That's what it was. Yeah, for getting me through the dark times, or something like that. And so maybe honestly, when you are a victim of trauma, it really only takes that one thing. And maybe that really truly was it when she said, because remember she said she's been in therapy, so maybe that's really what it was that made her be like,
Okay.
mhm.
Like I said, it's a mess. I mean,
How
it's
do you
just a
feel
whole.
about someone saying that we need to go into Diddy's childhood? Was the abuse in his childhood, did he see it or have it done to him? I mean, the reality is we may very well, if somebody does the deep dive, it may be there, because we know that victims become the abuser. Like, we know that's the cycle.
I
So
also
I'm not going to say that it wasn't there. Let me tell you listen, y'all want to know what I really think it is. This is what I'm telling you, what I really think it is. And I'm not saying that none of those things are valid. I'm saying, for me, I think it goes back to what Tiffany Red said in her letter. We were dealing with an era of misogyny. You had these young black hood kids, some of them middle class, but young black kids that got a lot of money at a young age. The world was at their fingers, and they could get anything they wanted. And I think, Trina, I'm gonna mute you because I don't know what's going on, babe. But just
Go
come on
ahead.
back with me. And I think that they was, especially the Diddies of the world. You look at the Diddies, the Master P's, the Jermaine Dupri's, all of these young black CEOs that were in an environment with all of this decadence and money, drugs and alcohol and sex. There were a lot of women that were voluntarily in these spaces, and I think that it got to a point where the lines were blurred between the women who were voluntarily there and the women who, eh, you know, eh, I ain't gonna say weren't voluntarily there, but
They
And I
wasn't.
really
They
think it
weren't
got
there
to
for
a
the
point
foolishness.
where
They was there
they
for.
were so used to getting whatever they wanted when they wanted that when somebody said no in their mind, it was yes. I
Yep.
mean, when you look, I mean, again, these stories are not new stories.
I don't want.
But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys give final thoughts because I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up so I can be right back in about 35, 40 minutes. Trina, I'm gonna unmute you, babe. I'm gonna let Trina speak, then Angela, and then Tracy.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this. That I knew my grandfather told me a long time ago. Never love a person more than they love you, because you will always get the short
Mm.
end of a stick. And the thing of it is, I feel for Cassie. I'm quite sure she still got some trauma going on. But I just pray that she can find the peace in herself to get back to herself. Because nobody should be in that position that can ever take your peace or take part of your soul away. So I just pray that she get back to the place that where she wants to be.
Thank you, Angela.
I I'm just at the point where I am tired of these guys. Like, I'm glad people like him are getting outed and people are really seeing him for who they are, even if not legally and whatever have you, and charges pressed. And I'm just glad that at this point we as a collective are finally acknowledging all these things that we knew. Because, like you said, most of the stuff she said wasn't new. It's just the first time it's been part of a court record. And so I'm just glad that, whatever favor or protection he had has run out, because you shouldn't treat people like that just because you think you can get away with it. Because the moment your protection is gone, look at this. You went from completely untouchable and people didn't bother you to everybody came to get a piece. And the people who didn't want a piece of the crap pie you handed them dragged you all over the internet and made you look even worse until Cassie came and dropped down this hammer on you. So at this point, throw the whole thing away. Throw the whole Diddy away. I'm over it. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of him being in the media. He's too ugly to be on my screen this much. I'm sick of it. Um, you not cute. That's probably why you had to have people come in and do stuff with your girlfriend, because you're not cute anyway. But I digress. Just toss it away at this point. Toss the whole Diddy away.
I know that's right. All right, Tracy, Lord Tracy, come on, girl.
Listen, I'm the nice one here. I simply am going to say, um, if you or anyone you know has had anything happen to y'all, go get therapy, go get help. Don't let the statute of limitations run out. Send them jokers to jail. Lock them up where they need to be. That's all.
Oh,
See, look it, real simple. See, get therapy, get help.
okay.
Don't let your statute of limitations run out. Lock them up, and we'll all be happy. See, look
All
it.
right. Well, thank you so much. Thank y'all for coming up. Again, I know y'all sick of it, but baby, when the story breaks, we gotta talk about it, okay? For those of you that read Black Cake or watched Black Cake over onto the Hulu, we will be back at 8:30 with El Teddy to discuss. I'm going to be discussing the series as a whole. I'm going to be talking about the movie versus the book, like what was different from, well, the mini series versus the book, what was different. And for those of you that read the book, y'all know that they threw us for a whole loop in that final episode. So I'll definitely be talking about that. I wasn't going to do a separate review for episode 8, but I have to. I have to do a review for episode 8 and then just do the live separately because y'all understand when I explain it.
Philip B,
Why
let
do
me
I
say one
feel
more
Jay
thing
Z's
before you
next?
go. Let me say one more thing before you go. Say it like this: when people saying that she didn't come out with it, why she held it in so long, people don't understand. If you go through trauma, sometimes you don't know how to let that come out. Because the same thing, I'm gonna use myself as an example of the story I'm gonna tell, which is a true story. I was young. I wanted to go into the military. I didn't know which branch I wanted to go into. So back in the day, they used to come to your house. Your recruiter used to come to your house and give you the test on your computer screen. So I let this guy came to my house, my recruiter whatsoever, and I had asked him. I'm like, "You sure?" He's like, "Let me take you out." And I'm like, "Don't you got a girlfriend or something?" And he was like, "No." So as I finally went out with him, not supposed to, wasn't you supposed to, but I finally went out with him. But as I was in the car with him, and we was riding the strip in Panama City, and something came to me and say, "Ask this man, is he married?" And I said, "Are you married?" Why you ask that? I said, "Because I just want to know." Yeah. I said, "I asked you, was you married?" He said, "No, you didn't. You asked me to have a girlfriend." But anyway, so we get back to my house. I'm ready to go to sleep or whatsoever. And he was like, "Show me what you got on, what you've been studying on your ASVAB book." But the thing of it is, and put it this way, I fought with this man for 2 hours. I was freaking tired. And then this fool had the nerve enough to tell me, before you go into the Navy, you need to get on birth control. And I'm like, what? He's like, you need to get on birth control because he said, you know who the highest paid person on the ship. And I'm like, no, who? He's talking about the janitor because everybody used their closet. So this fool called me the next day and asked me, was I'm still going to join the Navy? And I said, okay, I join the Navy. You put in my contract that I don't have to go on the ship. And see, at that point in time, I didn't want to tell any other, I kept it to myself or whatsoever because I was going into the military, and they can put out for different places that she's been labeled as a troublemaker or whatsoever. And so by me saying that, and why people saying she didn't come out and say things before now, sometimes you keep trauma hidden because you don't want to hear what people got to say about you, or don't want to say, well, she's a gold digger or whatsoever. Like I said, I was trying to get into the military, and I had to deal with this fool. So what I'm saying to people, like, they're saying like she held it in for so long. Sometimes you do hold things in for so long because you don't want to hear the backlash of when it comes out, or what it could do to your career, or what it can do to your future. So like I said, I held that in because I want to be in the military, and I didn't want to be labeled as a troublemaker. So that's what I'm saying to people. You can't put a time limit on when somebody can talk about something when it happened to them. And that's all I had to say. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. And I thank you for sharing your story. And I'm definitely sorry that that was your experience. But let me say this. I am sick and tired of people saying that. At this
Yes.
point in time, if you, and when I say you, I ain't talking about y'all, but I mean in general, at this point in time, if people don't understand that everybody deals with trauma differently and speak when they are ready to speak or when they feel comfortable to speak, and part of the reason why people don't speak is because of that. Like, the reality of the situation is, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of having the conversation about why people stay in abusive relationships. I'm sick of having a conversation about why people don't speak on their trauma when you ready for them to speak on their trauma. People speak when they want to speak, and sometimes they never do. And I'm sick of it, y'all. I'm just gonna be real about it. I'm really sick of the conversation, and I'm really sick of having that debate. At this point, you get it, whether you want to get it or not. You do get it, and
Okay.
and for some people, thank God if you've never been through a traumatic experience or you've never had to walk those shoes, just consider yourself lucky. But stop judging other people for when and how they choose to share their trauma. That ain't your place. And it's okay to say, well, I don't believe their story. That's fine. You don't have to believe their story. But what people need to stop doing is questioning why, when, or how somebody chooses to tell their story. That I'm sick of.
Thank you.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
I'm saying that. I'm sorry, I'm gonna end it there, y'all. But Angela, somebody just texted me and said they are really enjoying you on my panel. That means you got to come back more
Oh,
often.
thank you. I come through.
Okay.
Angela's one of my boo things, y'all. She's one of my boo things. So
Okay.
we're getting ready to wrap this up. Like I said, I'll be back in about 30 minutes. I'm going to take my trash out, get myself together, get my stuff together for tomorrow, and then I'll be back in about 30 minutes. And like I said, we'll be ready to sit back with a little cocktail and talk about black cake, honey. All right. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Thank you, ladies, for being up here. And I appreciate you, Angela. You know me no harm with the program.
Oh yeah, I'm a drag queen. I'm used to all of them. I don't care.
Right. For those who don't know, Angela's a drag queen. So she know I don't mean no harm when I
Yep.
refer to she. We've had that conversation already.
Yes.
But thank you guys for being up here. I really appreciate it. As always, Tracy, my love, I love you, my love. Even though you're getting more and more like El Teddy every day, child. The two of y'all together are just not. That's just
What I
trouble.
do? Listen,
Yeah,
I just believe that predators should go to jail. That's just what I believe.
I mean, that's pretty simple math.
That to me, that just makes sense. I mean, I don't understand why everybody's like, oh my gosh. To me, it sounds real simple. I feel like
that's pretty simple math.
I mean,
to me, it sounds like if somebody takes advantage of you, they should go to jail. Like,
If 1 + 1 = 2, and 2 + 2.
like,
if you do action A, you have to go to jail.
to me, that just makes sense. Now,
that's how it's written.
Listen, I'm not telling you got to send them there immediately. I'm just saying if the statute of limitations says 10 years, then honey, 9 years, 11 months, and 3 weeks, go ahead and send them to jail. I'm fine with that too, just as long as they make it there. They just got to go. They just send them where they need to be. Send them where they need to be.
And that's why I'm not mad at Cassie, because if you're not going to send them to jail, get paid.
Absolutely.
Listen, I ain't mad at Cassie either. I ain't mad at Cassie.
Listen, fine. You can't send them to jail. Bankrupt them. Fine. Okay, fine.
Because
bankrupt them.
Whatever she got was good enough that within 24 hours, her mouth is shut and she's over living her life, minding her business, and ain't said nothing to the rest of us.
Whatever she did,
we ain't gonna never hear from Cassie again. We ain't gonna
never hear from her. I know the gag order on that settlement was.
Oh yeah, that thing is ironclad. That thing is ironclad.
That gag order said, "Baby, you can't even have an Instagram no more."
Right. We ain't never gonna hear from her again. Okay. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Bye. Now Cassie